is it a payback? Is it a reciprocation for the good fortune you've had along the
Oh,
way? Is
yeah.
that, okay.
I mean, you know, you're looking at a guy who was born in what is now Russia, and you know, my father was killed in Russia a month before I was born. My mother took me as an infant as the Red Army was advancing on the town we lived in, and we wound up behind the Iron Curtain in East Germany, where we lived for 5 years and escaped in 1949.
Yeah.
You know, I learned about American rock and roll courtesy of the Armed Forces Radio Network in West Germany, and came to Canada and, you know, got a guitar like so many others and banged around on that, and eventually caught a wave that led to Steppenwolf. So, you know, it's been an interesting life, and you sometimes step back and say, you've had all these fortuitous developments along the way, and maybe you were meant to, you know, at some point say enough about yourself, maybe it's time to kind of share what you've been given.
Was there one moment or one epiphany that made you turn that way, or was
it was sort of a
collection
gradual, it was kind of a gradual thing, and I was particularly affected by those who just do it, you know, who are just somehow, there's something in them that just says, you know, we brought back a video from this, what we did in Cambodia to show some kids in Tennessee where we lived at the time. And 2 weeks later, that teacher was gone. Why? Because she joined the Peace Corps. You know, I mean, it's a ripple effect. Everybody in that web of positive life forces affects everybody else down the line. And obviously, the media is not interested in that because only scandal and some of our species' worst actions attract the eyeballs and the ratings and get, you know, the higher commercial rates.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get that kind of exposure. But under all, you know, underneath all of that, under the radar screen, there's so many people and entities doing amazing things in all parts of the world, and I just felt drawn into that by seeing what people can do. You know, that when we went to Cambodia, I said, you know, we got 169 kids in the school, what should we bring? And the man says, bring pencils and paper.
Yeah, simple things like that.
Right. And your dollar can go, you know, I mean, it's just, when you realize how much you're able to do with relatively modest means, it was quite inspirational. So that was the kind of the start, you know, and there's just, like I say, there's tons of people doing stuff. Like Mother Teresa one time said, you know, very few of us will do great things, but all of us can do small things with great love. And it may only be this little part.
Right.
You know, it's that old, well, I don't know if it's a cliche by now, but I've heard it numerous times, where a little girl and mother's walking by the seashore and all these little sea stars are washing ashore and dying. The kid is running around trying to put them back in the ocean. And the woman sees the enormity of it all, you know, there's thousands of them. And she says, oh, honey, don't bother, you know, it won't make any difference. And the child looks at the one in its hand and says, it does to this one. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know, you can make a difference in one creature's or one person's life.
Enough
Start
people
there.
do that.
You know, well, it's like Ralph Emerson said, you know, to know that one life breathes easier because you lived, that's to have succeeded.
Very nice. Well, we'll take a break and play one of their big songs. It's actually a magic carpet ride you've been on for many years now. And let's roll that one now. We'll be right back with John Kay from Steppenwolf backstage live at Fiddler's Green. I can't get that out of my head. Coors Amphitheater backstage in a moment after some John Kay and Steppenwolf Rock on Cool.